New York City, baby. How's it going, Secret Demo Club? I'm in my wonderful, brilliant, and fantastic friend Regina's apartment, relishing some very rare alone time, and I just wanted to say a quick hello because I've been on tour. Alone time is so not a thing on tour. Honestly, I make a joke that like towards the end of the tour, like everyone's bathroom trips get a little bit longer because sitting on the toilet is truly the only time where you get to be by yourself when you're staying on and sleeping on a bus with 13 other people. But right now I have a couple of hours to myself. I've said that word really weird. A couple of hours to myself in New York before I meet everyone else at Terminal 5 where we're playing tonight, which I'm told is an absolutely massive, absolutely iconic, ridiculously amazing venue. So I'm very excited for that. I've been really enjoying the shows. We've played 2 in DC and just 1 in Boston. I have a few days off in between. It's been really nicely paced. Had some time to adjust to the time difference. It's been really, really, really nice. And yeah, I'm just having a swell time so far. Yeah, been struggling to feel present during the shows. I think because they're the biggest thing that we've ever played. I think I'm just quite disassociated, and it's probably my brain's way of protecting me from truly feeling all the nerves that I would otherwise feel. But I really want to work on just being present, because I'm looking back at the pictures of every night and going, like, getting more scared in hindsight, being like, whoa, that looks massive. Whereas at the time I haven't really felt that phase, and I've been not that nervous, and I've just been kind of getting up and doing it, and I think playing quite well and not letting it like take over my brain. But I would like to feel a little bit more there. So if anyone has any tips in that department, just feeling more present in general, please let me know, because I'd like to know. I'm going to try and meditate. I'm going to try and I haven't been drinking that much. I'm going to continue on that. I'm going to, I maybe do a little walk around the venue before the doors open, just like something to take in my surroundings. It's just, it feels hard to soak it all up sometimes when you're like just cruising through these places so quickly and then moving on. So anyway, having an amazing time. Played a really, really small, what am I doing? Oh, well. Played a really, really small showcase last night in New York, acoustic, couple industry people, couple Secret Demo Club people. It was absolutely tiny, about 50 people, and so I couldn't bring everyone, so I just reached out to a couple of people that commented expressing interest in a New York show on my previous Patreon post, filled a guest list, and yeah, to everyone I didn't reach out to, I'm very sorry. The only room that we could get was just small, but I will definitely come back and do some proper shows next year that can be announced and ticketed and a proper thing, and see other parts of the country. This was more than anything just an opportunity to keep my gigging skills sharp, play acoustic songs, super stripped back, and also bring a couple of music industry people down. My manager Claire was over and she brought some people down, mainly people we already work with. Like I have a distributor who's this company called The Orchard. Distributors just put your music on Spotify, etc., and help you push it to playlists and things like that. So all these companies, they'll have like a UK office and we'll know them, but the US office we don't know. So it's just more about bringing them down and being like, hey, I already work with you technically, but look at what I can do. I can write a song. Because from their perspective, it must be hard to get excited about someone who is just like one of thousands of artists that sit on their books. So I think it really helps sometimes to like put a face to a name, or put a performance to a name. So it felt really good. I'm glad that happened. It had all the makings of a potentially awkward and awful situation. Not awful, but like it was just a really small room, so the things I just always risk being really awkward, intimate to the extreme. But the Secret Demo Club people who did come down brought the vibe. Like instantly it was a good vibe. I felt so at ease and I really enjoyed it. So thank you to all of you who came, and those of you, some of you made a bit of a journey, and I'm just really, really grateful. But like I said, there'll be more proper shows next year. ASAP. One of the people that was there, one of the music industry people that was important for me to see, was this guy called Steve. He's technically my US agent, which is not a very busy job because I haven't really done very many shows over here at all. But seeing him again and getting him excited about it and showing him the new songs was important, because if I'm going to stand a chance of putting together a proper tour to come back here next year, he's going to be pretty pivotal in that. So that was another important factor. So thumbs up from me. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's been listening to and sharing. Did it to myself. I'm honestly bowled over by the response. Like, I can't believe it. I really, really can't believe it. And it's been a intense process, all of this music, because it's, I don't know, everyone always says this, but like, it does feel like the most honest stuff I've ever made, these sort of songs. There's like a vulnerability to putting it out that is just not something I've really felt this strongly before. And also, I've co-produced all of this music, which is new for me, been extremely involved in the production, and so I feel like I'm putting myself out on a limb in two different ways, to an extent. You know, I'm not just like, oh, here's my song and someone else produced it. It's like there's so much me in these songs that putting it out just feels like kind of terrifying, but also like the payoff feels like twice as strong, and the praise that people have, and just, yeah, I'm very, very grateful. You guys are ultimately my street team if you want to be. And so what I might do over the next couple days is put together just a list of really basic things that if you guys really want to be helpful and help spread the word, just concrete ways that you can do that. Because it's all good and well to say, share it and listen to it, and all of that's very helpful. But, you know, I'd make a list of things that you can do off the top of my head. It's like adding to Spotify playlists. If you use Spotify is huge. Giving it a share on Twitter or Facebook. I also personally love when people send me like recommendations for music directly. Like if someone sends me going, I think you'd really like this, if it's true, like that's, I think, maybe even more powerful than just sending it out to the masses. So there's that. Yeah, the playlist thing is pretty important. The YouTube video will come out soon. There's an official video for when that comes out. I'm gonna hopefully, you know, share that about, and hope that you guys will too. There's a YouTube like audio still of it that is currently up there, which as always, if you could sort of comment on it and like it, and all the engagement really helps. Basically, that's the only thing I understand about these platforms is the more traction everything gets, there's a snowball effect, and, you know, etc., etc. So all of it seems silly, and from you guys' perspective, it's just repeating the same action over and over in different places, but all I can say is that it makes a huge difference. It has in the past, it is this time, and it will in the future. So thank you. And all these numbers, they seem quite trivial, and I try not to get too caught up in it, but like, I think we hit at 100K on Spotify in like 3 days. And don't get me wrong, it's not like I wake up every day being like, my number one goal is to get X amount of Spotify hits. It does seem kind of petty. But it's also like these milestones are there to be celebrated, and like I have to acknowledge that none of my songs, as far as I'm aware, would have reached that amount of views in that small. So it's a small little gratification, and it's a small little thumbs up and a nod being like, it's on the way up. Yes, I'm a slow burn as an artist. I don't have a huge push. I don't have all this money behind me. I don't have a label, etc., etc. It's a slow burn, but it is on the way up, and it's just like those little moments of recognizing that are really important for me, and just like to keep me going, and for all of us to, you know, to know that what you guys do, whether it's a tweet or a share or whatever it is, all of it makes a difference. So thank you so much for that. I'm gonna go and explore New York for a few hours. I'm going to go and get some coffee. I'm trying to walk here. And then I'm going to make my way over to the venue, Terminal 5, for a sound check. And I'm very excited to be alive today. So thank you very much, guys. I love you. I love you. Did it to myself.